today I'll be going over to Hyundai to pick up my new car. It's not going to be a Tesla. I'm not trading in my Model X, I'm still keeping it, but I'm getting a second vehicle. And that's going to be the new 2024 Hyundai Elantra. Are you guys ready to go?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
You've been great. Nice to meet you guys as well.
And there we have it. It's been about 2 days since I owned this 2024 Hyundai Elantra Preferred Tech Package. I was looking for this vehicle for quite some time and I finally found it for the correct price. What I mean by that is, if you've been shopping for a new vehicle, it has been kind of out of control. Here in Canada, most of the dealerships that I've been going to have been marking up the vehicles with add-ons. Just for reference, one of the dealerships here in Calgary was trying to sell me Elantra Preferred without the tech package for about $31,000. Originally, I was looking for a black Elantra Preferred, not even the one with the tech package. I'm actually happy I got the one with the tech package. I got this Preferred with tech package for $30,300 out the door with taxes and everything like that. They still put mud guards, they still put block heater, and yeah, they've got all their documentation fees and it's almost as closest to the MSRP, which is great. I mean, I wouldn't say great if it was like a few years ago, but right now times have changed. I don't really justify driving the Model X as much as I drive. It is just not worth it. With Tesla constantly dropping prices, you as an owner of a Tesla are being constantly affected of a resale value, which means when you put 200,000 kilometers or 100,000 kilometers on your vehicle, you're gonna be in a very bad situation, especially if you finance it. Unless you finance it for like 36 months, you're gonna have a hard time ever catching up with those payments. I was offered about $67,000 for my Model X. Tesla, with my experience, by far, it is one of the most depreciating cars I have ever owned. Because Teslas depreciate like crazy, therefore, I ended up purchasing myself a daily driver, which is going to be this Hyundai Elantra. I know what you guys are thinking. What about the gas savings? Well, this car will be cheaper to drive than my Tesla. First of all, I still pay for electricity. Supercharging is pretty expensive still, especially when you're traveling during the winter time. Tires are super expensive. Insurance is expensive. Price drops, it affects every single Tesla owner. It doesn't matter. If the new vehicle price drops, your Tesla depreciated as much as that plus depreciation. When you add all of that things in, Tesla is actually really expensive to own. We still have 4 Teslas. I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's just, as a second vehicle, I thought this is a better deal because I don't want to pay a lot of money and then next day I wake up and then my vehicle is $5,000 cheaper. Still have the Model X. We're still gonna go road trips with it. I'm still gonna make videos on it. Got the car from Hyundai Gallery. My salesperson was Jeremy, and when I went to him, I said, I will buy the car right now if you take $28,000 out the door for a Hyundai Elantra Preferred without the tech package. But of course, they didn't have any. So then he suggested this one, and I said, okay, $30,000 out the door with the tech package. He went to the manager's office, came back with $30,000 and $300. By far, that is the cheapest price I could find on these Elantra here in Canada that didn't charge you so much money for unnecessary things. And this one, guys, it still has the block heater, which is the premium one. So you have this port here that you connect the extension cord to. The white is actually free. There's no any additional cost for it. It is a very nice white, and honestly, I'm very happy that I bought the Elantra in the white exterior trim. I really like the white with the black accents, especially at the rear end where the bumper has the black part here at the bottom. It actually looks really, really nice, where you couldn't really tell that with the black. Doesn't have the LED taillight strip like you can get on the higher trims, but this is pretty good. Got the smart trunk, so I can stand behind it. It's gonna beep like this and it will pop open the trunk just like that. And we've got the camera here, the Hyundai badge there. This one has the button. If you get the essential trim, there's no button here, so you have to either open up from the car or the key fob. Elantra right there, looks great. Opening it up, we've got the manual release here. Lots of room here, guys. This is really, really nice. You get quite a bit of storage for the Elantra. Just got one exhaust right there, which is not visible. Here's the key fob. We've got the lock button here, which actually has this really nice pointy things. So when I have the key in my pocket, I can just still feel it and then press it, and I know that's the lock. We've got the unlock, hold to remote start, hold for panic, and then here's the button for the trunk. And this is also light. So if we hit lock and then we hold the remote start, it will remote start. And you also have Blue Link with this vehicle. One thing I don't like about this key fob, it actually looks nice. We've got the Hyundai emblem, in case you never knew that. It's the Hyundai emblem key. But I never knew that the manual key is not inside the remote. It is actually this keychain looking thing. So you always have to have this thing with you. Just in case the fob dies, you can still get inside the vehicle. Here's the 17-inch wheels that you get with the preferred tech package. We still got wheel locks from the deal, which is great. Again, I was discounted for these accessories, which is awesome. Wrapped around with the Kumho Majesty Solace 225/45 R17 tires, which are mud and snow rated, but they're all seasons. They're not all weathers, and I will be getting winter tires for this vehicle, of course. Same dimensions here at the front, 225/45 R17. You do have keyless entry here, so if you press this once, I have it set that it will just unlock the door. If I press it twice, it will also unlock the rear. So the way it works, I think if you're on the passenger side, even one press will unlock all the doors, as you can see. But in the driver's side, I have to press it twice to unlock the rear doors. I like the Elantra because it has a lot and lots of rear seat legroom. Look at that. So this is the premium seats. They're closed, and we've got 2 USB-C charging ports right there for the rear passengers. No any rear vents, no any seat pockets in the back, but you get so much legroom. Something to note, you do not have 60/40 seats here. So if you need to carry longer items, these seats fold down fully. So if I push the button here, open this up, pull this, pull that, this is how you will fold the seats. Okay, so it's the entire rear seats fold, which gives you a lot of pass-through, so you can carry longer items, but you can only have one passenger from now on. There's also no any armrest for the rear passengers, but again, you get quite a bit of legroom, and it's really comfortable back here. Here's the rear passenger door. Got hard plastic here, but it's soft over here. It is an automatic window, but you do have to hold it. You can't just touch and then expect it to go fully down. Handle there, pocket there, speaker, bottle holder, very nice. And the doors have a nice sounding when you close them. Blind spot assist, as you can see on the mirror. Opening the passenger door, looks beautiful. You do have this speaker over here, which kind of reminds me of like the Burmeister system that my dad's Mercedes has. Hard plastic here, soft over here and here. Handle there, unlock and lock. This is also, again, you do have to hold it. It is not one touch, just like the rear ones. Pocket here to grab and close and put some stuff there. Bottle holder and speaker right there. There's the passenger seat over here. Very nice bolsters, so you're definitely inside the car, and the seats are holding you great. Very nice strips here, and it is a manual seat, so you can move it forward and back, and you can also adjust the back. There's no any lever to put the seat up or down. The tech package also comes with this very nice ambient lighting that you can choose which color you want. And this is the vents. You can kind of close it by taking it all the way to the right. You hear a click, and you can adjust it whichever direction you want. Also, the glove box is very nice, decent size. There's some pocket here. You can put some stuff if you want. The shark fin antenna, it does have automatic sunroof. You can tilt it, also fully open it up, which is nice. There's the camera there for the safety, and this car also has steering assist. So if you turn that on, it will actually steer the car, kind of like the autopilot. If I hit unlock, that's kind of what it looks like. That's lock. The car is locked. If I push the button, it will only open up the driver's door. All right, so the rear is closed. Touch it again, it will lock it. But if I press it twice, it will unlock it. By the passenger side, it seems like as soon as you hit it once, it unlocks all the doors. So this is a nice safety thing to have. Let's start the car. Turn on the lights, as well as the hazards. That's what it looks like. Look at the rear. There we go. Now let's take a look at the driver's door. We've got the hard plastic here, soft over here, just like the passenger door. The handle, the speaker. Mirror controls over here. Unlock and lock, which does have a light right there, as you can see. Full automatic one-touch driver window. One touch up. Rest again, you do have to hold it. Suspend people from opening the windows. Grab handle here, as well as some bottle holder and some storage space there with the speaker. Here's the driver's seat, very comfortable. It's got this bolster there to hold you in the seat. You can raise and lower the seat control the back and also move forward and back. Adjust the brightness for the instrument cluster, traction control on and off. Here you can pull to open the trunk and then pull to open the fuel cap. It is not a capless system, but you do have a nice place to hold the lid. And let's take a look at the engine bay. The hood is pretty heavy on this vehicle, and that's the engine. Again, I didn't buy this car for performance. If the door is unlocked, the light is on. If it's locked, it disappears. It's been almost a week that I've owned this Hyundai Elantra, and I've already put over 900 kilometers on it. Since refueling, I've been averaging 6.6 liters per 100 kilometer. The digital instrument cluster is actually really nice on this Elantra. It gives you quite a bit of options. So you do have your navigation. So this one, if you have the in-car navigation working, it will show you turn-by-turn directions right over here. If we go over here to the information, this one only shows us tire pressure, okay? It doesn't show anything else, unfortunately. This will show us what's happening around us. So if you turn on this steering assist right over here, we'll give you like the navigate on autopilot kind of line in the center. Then the car will pretty much stay in its lane without you having to turn on the cruise control. Not as good as the Tesla autopilot, but it's still pretty good. If you hold OK on it, then it will end up opening up the settings. From here on, you can adjust so many of its driving safety settings. So if we go over here, you've got forward safety warning. So if we click on that, it will take us to here. So you can have standard or late, lane safety, blind spot safety, exit safety, and it kind of gives you a description of what each safety feature is. We've got parking safety. So this is a rear cross traffic alert. Pretty much what it does, if I put in reverse, this kind of happens, and then from here on, right over here, you will see this becoming red or this becoming red depending on which direction, and the steering wheel starts vibrating to tell you, hey, something's coming from your cross traffic, I guess I should say. Very, very cool feature, and it's very safe. Same thing happens when you're trying to pull out from a parking spot. This happened to me. The way I can describe what happened is, let's say I was stopped at this entrance sign over here, and then I was gonna pull out to go straight. A car from there came up and then make a right turn while I was trying to get back on the road to continue going, if that makes sense. And then the car slammed on the brakes. Obviously I saw them, it would have been enough. It really slammed on their brakes on its own. But again, that's a cool safety feature. In case I haven't seen the car, it would have avoided the accident on its own completely. We've got warning method, parking safety priority, things like that. Speed limit, this one you can have it so that the speed limit sign here will become red. Driver attention warning, got all of these. Again, kind of shows us the same thing here. This is the home screen of it. If we touch here, it'll take us straight to the car's navigation system. If we go back into the home screen here, if we touch into the clock, it will take us straight to the clock, so we can adjust that. Media on or off, if we touch here, it will take us straight to the media that we were listening to. You have this favorite button over here. So for me, I set this to be my Apple CarPlay button. So once I hit this and have the phone plugged in, it takes me straight to Apple CarPlay, which is cool. Map, navigation, radio, media. We've got the power button here. If I hold this, it will turn off the screen into a clock like this. You can change that if you like. Swiping to the left here, we've got map, navigation menu, phone projection, voice memo, climate. You can kind of adjust it like the Tesla if you like. It is pretty responsive. So as you can see, not as cool as using the dials. Tesla definitely did a great job where you don't need the dials on this. I still prefer using the dials and knobs here to adjust it. Setup over here, which gives us to the vehicle settings. We've got the cluster. So for this, what you can do is go to illumination. Regarding this illumination, what happens with this vehicle, guys, is pretty strange. So let's say I'm driving and the car constantly sometimes just ends up automatically dimming the displays, thinking it's nighttime, and turning on the headlights even though it's like daytime. Especially when I'm driving around downtown where we got taller buildings, it constantly thinks it's becoming sunset, and then it just turns that off. And there's no way to turn off this automatic adjustment for the screen. As you can see, like even if I touch here, there's nothing to turn off the automatic brightness, and this is getting on my nerves because it is really annoying when I'm driving and then the car decides to dim the displays on its own, and I just cannot have a manual thing on it. Like every time I have to try to do it from here, but we should have an update or something that's going to stop this display from dimming on its own. Like we should be able to turn off that feature, but it happens quite a bit. Blue light filter, you can do that. Camera settings, display content. This is pretty much if you shift to drive after reverse, it still keeps your backup camera on for a bit. I don't like that, so I have that off. Here's the instrument cluster. You can kind of change it. So I've got it on the cube setting here. Okay, You've got classic A, B, and C. So the cube is my favorite. It looks really futuristic, as you guys can see. But the thing I just wish it didn't have is these actual cubes that are there just pulsing like this. Let me know what you think. But then we've got the classic A, which looks like this. All right, so it's like that. If I rev the vehicle, it's kind of what that looks like. We've got class B, which is like the sport mode, just like that. But it doesn't give us any digital speedometer. We have to go over here and then here to get the digital speedometer, which then you lose the kind of like the safety feature of that, if that makes sense. So like when you have it like this, when somebody's in your blind spot, other than the triangles lighting up, it shows you like a red thing over here on your blind spots. So you can kind of look over here just like the Tesla and then know somebody's in your blind spot without having to look over here to this triangle. So I really like this. Reminds me of like the Tesla kind of feature where the car becomes red whenever someone's in your blind spot. Then we have classic C, which is like this, no digital speedometer. So that's why I have the cube, because it gives me the digital RPMs as well as the speedometer right there. If I indicate, nothing happens. Even if we're on the classic setting and I indicate, it does not show it on the car. If I hit the brakes, it doesn't show any of those features on the car like it does on the Tesla. You also have drive modes. If you have this on, let's say you're on the drive mode normal, which I am right now, and I go over to sport, it will turn into that, and then I go into smart, it will become that. Okay, so you kind of have that. But if you have it on the preferred setting, even if you go between modes, it kind of stays the same. And I think smart is pretty much sport and normal in between, whereas normal kind of seems like it's keeping me in the eco mode. But that's a quick overview of the display. Here's the vanity mirror, and then over here we've got the lights, which I'm gonna change into like LEDs because they're these kind of halogen yellowish ones. We do have the sun visors that do adjust like this, which is great. Over here we've got the interior lights. Again, it is pretty much these halogen looking ones. I'm not a big fan of. I'm going to be changing these into LEDs. And then this one kind of opens the door, it turns on. We look here, the vanity mirror, same thing. You have to kind of turn it on like this. Opening this up, it's a regular sunroof. And then from here on, this is not a full automatic one, so you do have to touch and hold. See? You touch and hold, it will tilt like this, and then to even close it you have to hold it. To open it up, it's just one touch. It will open up like this. You can still close this about that much if you want, or you can still open this a bit more with, again, one touch. Now this won't work. All right, so if you want to fully close it while you're driving, just one touch, it will do it just like this. And then you can close it. So it's not full automatic when you're tilting the sunroof, but whenever you're fully opening or closing it, it is fully automatic. The reading lights turn on like this. Here's the rear view mirror. It's not an automatic dimming one. You do kind of do it like this manually. It's not a big deal at all. And it does pretty much the same thing. Over here, we've got, looks like roadside assistance. I haven't pressed these buttons. I'm not sure what happens if I press it, but SOS as well. This is a bit strange where you've got this plastic kind of going on top of the headliner. I mean, guys, what do you think? It doesn't light up and it just looks weird to me a little bit. It looks like it was supposed to light up nicely. We've got grab handles for the rear passengers as well as the passenger in the front, and then nothing here on the driver's side. There's like the spot for it. With the tech package, you get like this weird circle thing on this beautiful display that kind of continuously goes over here. It does absolutely nothing, but here's where I mounted my phone to just kind of get rid of that circle and at the same time use it as a phone mount. It's not like anything special. It doesn't use any magnetic thing, so you can just connect your phone straight to that circle. But I think on the end lines, you've got the drive mode select over there. But yeah, I've got my MagSafe phone mount, works great, and it's a great spot. Here's the vents again for the driver's side. Now for this, I like that Hyundai always shows you whatever setting you put your lights on. Just nicely there. We've got this piano black, which looks great with this texture. And if I have it on auto and then push forward, it turns on the automatic high beams. And then this is manual high beams there. Turn signals, you can change how many times it blinks through the settings, or you can just have it like this. We've got the wipers over here. So it's not built into the wipers, the washer fluid nozzles. This is kind of how we control the screen, and then this is like the cruise control buttons. Voice command, if I hold this, it will turn on Siri, and then if I just touch it, it will turn on the car settings. With the mode button over here, you can pretty much uncheck which things you don't want to go through the mode settings, which is really cool. As you can see, you can have FM, Sirius XM, AM, whichever one you want, you can turn it on from here. We've got the favorite button here. You can set this to be completely something else. It's not going to be connected with that one. I have it set so for this one, it turns the car into like the quiet mode. It enables that, and then it disables that. Pushing this down will mute the volume, and then pushing it again unmutes it. We can go forward and back on the songs. Leather wrap steering wheel, very soft to the touch, very comfortable to hold, and it is also heated, as you guys can see right over here. So this is how we turn on the climate control. You've got like 3 settings for the fan. I like this a lot. It's not just gonna blast on your face even if you have it on the automatic setting. We've got the off button. If you want, you can go manual just like this, and then adjust the fan speeds like this wherever you want it. You've got your front and rear defrosters right over here. Recirculation, this also has the automatic recirculation, so if I try to use the washer fluid, it will automatically turn the car into the recirculation mode to prevent you from smelling the washer fluid. Front seats are heated 3 ways. You can adjust it, and they get really hot when you're on the 3rd setting, which is great. Dual zone automatic climate control, so you can have your own temperatures, or you can just sync it just like that. Here's the button for the parking camera. So if you push it, it turns on your rear view camera, and then you can also turn the steering wheel to see your guidance lines. Shifting to reverse, again, turns those on. We've got neutral, drive, and if we go here, we can go S for sport, and this has the IVT transmission, so you can kind of shift it manually. Over here, we've got a USB port, which is the only one that works with Apple CarPlay. We've got USB-C port, which I have an adapter that turns it into an actual USB port. We've got a 12-volt outlet, manual parking brake. The Elantra is also like a driver's car. The way I can describe it is, if you can see the screen, the buttons, everything is turned a bit towards the driver. So you feel all centered, and you've got this grab handle separating you from the passenger, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, I really like this Elantra. It's very driver focused. And with this 900 plus kilometers that I put on the car, I spent about $85 Canadian on fuel. Right now, 3/4 of a tank. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing. If you have any suggestions or videos you want to see about this Elantra or Tesla, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.